I think now a lot of students are seeing an opportunity for LMU to make some positive improvements. So
I guess we kind of see ourselves as kind of like the bridge to like amplify those efforts and those voices.
I think in terms of something maybe past administrations have struggled with is getting the university's attention on like really big issues. But right now, just with the state of the country, I think institutions are behaving more fluidly and really listening to the people within them more than they have in the past. So I think, Elsie and I are trying to make ASLMU take advantage of that trend and really just catch administration's ear on things like, divestment, whether that's fossil fuel industry or the industrial complex, like these big changes that once a lot of students thought the LMU wouldn't budge on. I think now a lot of students are seeing an opportunity for LMU to make some positive improvements. So definitely trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I would agree with Jack. One of the first things that became really obvious to us when we came into these positions was that there's like two types of student governments like among universities, like ones at which the universities like actually give elected students the opportunity to be at the table where decisions are made, and ones that don't. And like we kind of discovered that LMU is kind of the latter in a lot of ways. Like there isn't really a student sitting at a table where they're discussing big picture decisions like tuition hikes and furloughs and things of that nature. Like no students were involved in those conversations prior to them happening. So that was one of our like first realizations, and one of the things that we immediately became committed to wanting to change about elected. Like we feel like if you're elected at LMU to represent the student body, you should be able to do that at like really important conversations. So we're really trying to like leverage like just the way that things are going right now and show LMU admin why it's so important to have students involved at the decision.
Yeah, so we've been taking this very seriously, and I would like to take this moment to give a shout out to Brian Dennis, who is our Chief Programming Officer. They led a phone bank, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, got 200 LMU students registered to vote, which is just fantastic. And we're going to try and run it back because it was kind of fun to do. But we're taking it very seriously, trying to get as many people registered to vote as possible if they're eligible to. Everyone watching this interview, please go to MyLMU, Turbo Vote, register to vote if you can. But we've had events. Robin De Leon, who is the director of Free Speech and Expression, led a seminar in conjunction with Dr. Abe's office called Who's Free Speech that was incredibly successful. So there's an educational piece of it where we supporting and hosting events that will get people up to speed with issues that might be on the ballot and why voting is important. So the education, actually getting people registered, making sure they have all the information in front of them so that they can register and vote as easily as possible if they want to. And then like bring it all back home to the like LMU mission, because all of us as LMU students have to remain engaged civically and in touch with the state of the world around us. It's just the responsible thing to do, and it's an obligation for everyone at the university. So we're trying to really bring it home, get as many people registered as possible, because it is beyond crucial for this upcoming election.
During our summer in-service, we had a couple people come in and specifically talk about like the importance of being anti-racist leaders and like how that encourages us to go further. So Dr. Abe was kind enough to come talk about that and kind of just like fired up both our Senate and our leader and our cabinet. We're trying to definitely let Black LMU leaders take the lead on this front. So, and we're just kind of the supporting factors. So like to give you an example with PSAFE, we might be the ones like scheduling the meetings and talking to PSAFE admin, but it's really like the leaders at Black at LMU like saying that they want those meetings and then setting the agenda and kind of steering those conversations. So I guess we kind of see ourselves as kind of like the bridge to like amplify those efforts and those voices, and just making sure that we're like doing right by the people who are putting in the work to really lead the charge.
And I mean, even taking a step back, there are a lot of initiatives that might at first glance for a lot of LMU students seem unrelated, but are incredibly related to making LMU an anti-racist institution. I mean, ASLMU is trying to remove barriers to education for folks. Like with the Open Education Initiative and the attention we're giving to that, trying to make education and that LMU experience as accessible as possible to every student, making sure that LMU is truly in line with the Jesuit mission of living with for others in everything we do. So it's just a lot of accountability, and it's never going to come down to a point where ASLMU is not on the side of students. And if students are struggling to hold admin accountable, then ASLMU will always be right there with them to help them do it.
It's really important that students voice their opinion. Jack and I really appreciated the petition coming to fruition, as well as everyone who commented, because those student voices really do shape what ASLMU does and what Senate is doing. So that was really important. And yeah, we'll see. I think that there should probably be updates shortly.
And I think with the petition and the articles in Loyolan and agency, and just stuff that Elsie and I have been hearing, it's all just a part of the political environment here at LMU's, how it usually plays out. People have their opinions, people talk, but institutionally, it's not really Elsie and I's Senate in a sense that we have any sort of direct control over how an individual senator votes. Elsie is the chair of the Senate, but she's only going to vote on Senate matters if there's a tie. And beyond that, she presides over the ceremonial aspects of the meetings. So at the end of the day, I as president am going to support whatever the senators want to do within the Senate. But institutionally, I really have no say over it. I'm interested to see how it plays out though. I just want ASLMU to be in a place where we can get past this and we can continue getting to work without any sort of distractions.
And just to add to that really quickly, so part of our platform and stuff like that, and part of the reason I was motivated to run is because we are really committed to supporting undocumented students and mixed status students on campus. Pretty much everyone on leadership team is in agreement that that's a community that deserves support and resources. So we're able to move forward with those projects without any controversy or arguing in that front. I think Senate would have a different opinion on that front, but we still plan to support undocumented and mixed status students regardless, and we are going to continue to do so in whatever that looks like. And
it's tough. And there's no easy answer to it. I have talked with some student body presidents from other Jesuit institutions, and they're all dealing with the same question because no one knows how to get back as close as possible to that ideal of community that we've been living with the past couple years. But we're going to try our best. And I think the key of it is to just remember that we are a bunch of students at the same school trying to get through this in one piece, keep grades up, stay mentally healthy, stay on top of everything. So we just want to meet students where they're at, help them out as much as we can, whether that's through programming, whether that's through just being someone to talk to, whether that's through academic support, whatever it is. We're open to everything, and we just want everyone to get through this year, and even if it's next year, just together and in one piece.